Here at McShin, we believe in the McShin way, which is authentic recovery support service providers, people with lived experience, bringing that experience to those who need that lived experience in recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in many things to support our mission. We believe in women empowerment.
What I love most about what we believe here at McShin is we believe in the authenticity of the peer-to-peer approach.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in giving people opportunity.
Here at McShin, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person.
At the McShin Foundation, we believe in helping people reach their full potential.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in multiple pathways to recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in placing principles before personalities to help spread hope.
Here at McShin, we believe that recovery is possible and that any person seeking recovery can become a more acceptable, responsible, and productive member of society.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in self-discovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in saving lives and offering second chances.
Here at McShin, we believe you can do this.
Here at McShin Foundation, we believe that we can only keep what we have by giving away, which is why we continue to help others like us seek and find recovery.
Hello, folks. John Shinhosa live here in Henrico County Jail out in New King County. Another live segment of Getting the Herd. We hope you enjoyed last week. We got a very special week lined up for you tonight. Before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that hit us up on Facebook to watch the show. Pass the word to your friends and family and anybody who might need to hear an inspiring message about hope from the disease of addiction. How we doing tonight, fellas? By applause, we doing all right? Yeah, you got to let me know y'all want me here, you know. Are y'all glad we coming up in here sharing this message of hope with you? Yeah? Oh, yeah. Yeah, let them hear you, man. Can I get something more than just a yeah? Yeah. But believe me, folks, they real happy to be here. Hey, I want to thank Sheriff Gregory for inviting us back here. She's in the audience tonight and got a wonderful speaker lined up. Marshall, you heard a little bit about him last week. And we got a powerful female in recovery. She's going to help assist us in this program, not only tonight, but moving forward. But before we do get started, like I said, these programs run on primarily contributions. So if you're so inclined to do so, go to our Facebook page or our website, McShin.org. Check out not only all the services we offer, but feel free to make us a contribution so we can keep these programs moving and help these folks re-enter into society when the time comes. Christina, come on up here for a minute. I want to introduce Christina to you. She's our female program manager, two-time alumni of the RISE program, powerful woman in recovery. We're excited to have her help us. I just wanted to say a few words, say hello to the folks tonight. And I know you're looking forward to joining us, do more of these in the future. So, Christina.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christina. How are you? I'm really nervous. So I am the women's program manager of the McShin Foundation, but a year and a half ago, I was actually in the pod next door. My bad. I was in the pod next door. I overdosed behind the wheel of my car on heroin and got woke up to be a Narcan by the police. It was my 12th, 13th time being incarcerated. I've been in and out of this jail so much that the deputies knew me by my first name.
It's like a homecoming coming through the tower.
Yeah.
Out there, man. Hey, welcome back.
It's
Guess
different.
what? She gets to walk out of here tonight too, so that's a big hit.
It's definitely different being able to come in and leave. If there's anybody in here that's struggling with addiction, I'm telling you, if you just put a step on it and believe in yourself, you can definitely be anybody that you want to be. I never thought 18 months into my sobriety that I would be the women's program manager of the McShin Foundation. Yeah, thank you guys for letting me be in your foundation and helping.
Well, thanks for saying hello tonight. You're going to see a lot more out of Christina. And like I said, we're going to be bringing a variety of speakers in here. You know, a lot of them from our own community. For example, next week I got a couple gentlemen coming to share. One's from Florida, one's from Connecticut. So you'll get a lot of talented hope dealers coming in here sharing the message. Last week we heard a little bit from Marshall. This week Marshall's coming back. He's going to share his experience, strength, and hope in that order. And come on, work your way up here, Marshall. And I'm excited for Marshall. Me and Marshall go way back. I met Marshall, it must have been 33 years ago or something, but I can remember taking Marshall down to the city jail with me when he was brand new. I might have had 5 years clean. He might have had a year. I don't know what the exact time was.
Working on a year, struggling for
working on
a year.
But when we went into the city jail, you would have thought I brought Moses with me, man. I mean, the impact he had on those folks down here, but the fact that he knew half of them was very impressive. And they looked at Marshall, they all said the same thing. My God, if you can do it, we can do it.
Exactly.
So he's given a lot of hope to a lot of people over the years. We're glad to have you, Marshall, and good luck, and I'll see you shortly, all right?
All right. My name is Marshall. I'm a person in long-term recovery from substance use disorder, which means I haven't found it necessary to smoke a cigarette, take a drink, do any drugs in 34 years. You know, and man, through some awesome support. You know, John talked about how we met. You know, I met John, I was in the Richmond City Jail, you know, and that was my life. That was my life, man. I went to jail 7 times. 7 times I went to jail, you know, and the last time I was there, I was tired. I was whipped. I was beat. Prior to the last time, I went to the penitentiary for 6.5 years. You know? And man, thank God for John. I latched on to him, I hooked my wagon to him, and I've been hitched to him ever since. And been doing this for at least 33 years. You know, this is right here, man, is service work. Service work. It never occurred to me what I get from helping somebody and not looking for anything in return. I'm not going to send you all a bill in the mail. You won't get nothing from me. You know what I mean? I'm doing service work. And why? Because I see the need for it, man. I see the need for it. You know, part of the definition for recovery is to be a self-driven individual so that you can possibly reach your potential. Chef Gregory mentioned something about that last week. We believe in you. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that it's possible. When I look around here, you know, they got a little saying. They was like, and I was sharing this with somebody today. Young folks, they have dreams. Old folks have visions. You know, there's a world of difference between a vision and a dream. You know, I mean, we sit in here, man, and I've been here, and we just be thinking about things that we can do, we want to do, I should do, I can do. But I don't know if we actually believe that. You know, I'm here. This the hope shot, man. We bring the hope shot, man. You can do it, you know. You can do it, man. With all the things that they suggest, you can do it. I gotta say, man, look, man, ever since I've been coming in and out of the jails, you're talking about some creative minds. Hey, Scott, you're talking about some creative minds. You know, Chef Gregory was saying, look, hey, these guys here, man, because they're significant others may look at this thing. You know what I mean? And they can spot their significant others, you know? Look, I'm being critiqued by my wife. My wife critiquing me. You know what I'm saying? She said, oh, yeah, I'm going to look at it so I can tell you some of the things that you did wrong. You know, today I embrace that. I embrace that because I have lived that period where men didn't talk about their weaknesses. Men didn't talk about their weaknesses. Kobe Bryant, you know, may he rest in peace. I just saw a piece last week about Kobe Bryant. And they were saying the first time him and Dwight Howard met each other, Kobe Bryant told him, said, man, and I'm giving you the clean version. Oh, no, but he told him, look, you got something in your teeth, man. He ain't said something, you know what I'm saying? He dirtied it up a little bit. And Kobe says, what kind of friend do you want? Do you want a friend that ain't going to tell you what's going on with you? Or do you want a friend that going to sign off on your BS? You know? And man, that's one of the things I have learned here. I want John and anybody else, man. I want my support group. You know, my wife, my daughter, I want them to tell me, man, when I'm straying off my path. Just recently, man, me and my daughter, 2 days ago, we had a conversation. My daughter said, Dad, you need to be exercising more. I said, yeah, I know that. Why don't you, why you're not doing it? You know? And eventually, I told her, I said, thank you. You know what I mean? I told her, look, I said, I'm going to take a walk this evening. And my wife said, you didn't take a walk. I said, well, I walked down to the mailbox. You know what I'm saying? That counts. You know what I'm saying? But my wife and my support group, man, I'm telling you, you know, whew. My thinking the other day was, man, how would it be to go through life, nobody ever loving you? In the reversal of you never loving somebody. Man, you're missing out on an important part. Because I used to take things like that and say, oh man, that dismiss it. It don't mean nothing. Once I found out who I am, I understood and I know that it means a lot. It means a whole lot. Whole lot of things I do it out of love. I do it out of love for my family. I do it out of love for my friends. I do it out of love for my support group. That's what keep me going on a regular. That's what keep me going. Me, my weakness, I need that. I need my daughter. I need my wife. I need my son. And I need my support group to tell me what's going on with me. Do you know all of us got blind spots? All of us got blind spots. Sheriff Gregory was talking about that early part of the day. We got 2 mirrors in our car, you know, because we got blind spots. Now they got a blind spot mirror on there. When another car gets up, I don't know how long you've been locked up, but when another car gets up beside you, Brandon, like that car you bought, light comes on, saying somebody's close to you, you know. For some of us that have been driving for years, man, we used to turn around and have to look. Now they got blind spot mirrors. All of us got blind spots. And it's okay if they doing it out of love. My daughter told me, Dad, you need to exercise more. She sent an article also talking about people that are 60, 70, and 80 years old add length to their life when they exercise. It ain't got to be a whole lot. Just walk, she said, 10 or 15 minutes a day. add to your life. And that's why I'm at today. And y'all follow me. I'm going to tell you my story in a minute, but adding to my life because I had to make a decision. Am I going to participate with people that are going to take away from my life, or I'm going to participate with people that are going to add to my life? And if you can't figure that out, it's a problem. It's a problem if you can't figure out who adding to your life and who taking away from your life. When I share, I like to get you involved as well. You know, like John said, wake you up a little bit, wake you up. Somebody, about show of hands, tell me when the last time somebody told you something that you didn't know. Tell me, somebody. That's typical. He said he know everything. You know what I'm saying? Tell me something that somebody told you you didn't know. Now, y'all have heard this cliche. If you're the smartest guy in your group, you're a dummy. You need to get somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You need to add somebody else to your group. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. We are dealing with old information. You got a smartphone now. You got a smartphone. What does the smartphone do on a regular basis? He right. Update. The smartphone updates on a regular basis. I never forget a little incident between me and my wife. We went and bought a TV, and the TV was on sale, and she said, "Look, don't open the box because they got Thanksgiving coming up. It might go on sale again." I said, "Okay," and sure enough, it did. She's a better shopper than I am. The TV went on sale again, and we took it back to the store. Lady said, "Why are you bringing it back?" I said, "You got smartphones, you got smart TVs, you got to have smart human beings. You got to be smart individuals." And that's it, man. We need to be updated. We need to be updated on a regular basis. Every 3-4 months, we need to be updated. Otherwise, we're going on old information. My daughter used to call me an information seeker. I seek information. You know where I learned how to read at, or what I learned to love reading? I learned that in the penitentiary. I love quiet time. I love being to myself because I know who I am. I know who I am. And I love that. That's where I got that from. Because when I was there, I was around so many people all the time. I was like, man, I just wish they would go ahead about their business and leave me alone. Got to the point where, man, I started loving quiet time. One of the last things you want to do is to box yourself in, Brandon. One of the last things you want to do is box yourself in. Even while you're in here. And why? Because if you boxed in, can't nothing get in, no information can get in, and ain't nothing going out. You stuck and don't know it. Ask for some help. Ask for some help. Man, I really love what Chef Gregory is doing. This is trending. I mean, years ago, man, you go somewhere for a treatment program, they take you in a program and you stay there 30 days. Your family think after 30 days, he should be cured by now. 30 days, man. That don't work. All 30 days is doing is removing you from your present environment. You over here, man, amongst all of this, 30 days is just removing you from your present environment. What's trending now? I'm telling you, all of these programs now, 6 months to a year. 6 months to a year. And I know what I'm going to hear. Why I didn't want to stay there for a year? Because 30 days don't work. You need more than 30 days to change your ideas and your attitude about certain things. You need more than 30 days to get some more information up here. This is what it's all about. You got to get rid of some old information and bring in some new information. If you go back to the same thing that you left, you dealing with old information, it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. You know? My story. I gave y'all the introduction earlier before we came on live. And man, I went to Armstrong High School and Maggie Walker Armstrong. And if you don't know anything about it, last year they had memorial, not a memorial, they had an event over at Hovey Field for Armstrong Walker participants. They had a parade because people are still living that. People are still benefiting from that, you know? They had an Armstrong Walker parade. They met, the governor and everybody else, they met at Hovey Field. That's what I was a part of that. That's why I learned how to ball that. You know, and during the time I went to school, it was a lot of dudes that came from that period that went to the professional ball, played professional ball, you know? It was, man, I mean, it was, to us, it was normal, you know? I mean, a friend of mine, he just come out with a book, Armstrong Walker game in 1968. It was like 36,000 that attended the game. Only 2 other games have had higher attendance, and that was in Florida and that was in Texas. You know, you had people from all over used to come to the Armstrong Walker game. Needless to say, that's when I started drinking, because that's what the athletes did. That's what the sports guys did, man. After the game, man, we drink. You know, we drink. You know, before I graduated, I was all Southern District and all of that, all state and all of that. I had a coach. I tell my wife knows this story better than I do. My coach came to me and said, Marshall, don't sign with these local schools because we're going to get something big for you. Just on your name, we're going to get something big for you. And so I didn't. I didn't sign with them. None of the local schools. I was trying to get in Ohio State. I got in Ohio State, and they told me that I had a partial scholarship from Ohio State. I would have to pay. Do y'all, any of y'all look at Sports Center? You see Ryan Clark on that? I look at Ryan Clark, and I'm seeing myself. Just a little bit of dude, man. Honey Badger, a little bit of dude. You know what I'm saying? They play safety. They tackling tight ends. That's what I saw myself doing. You know what I'm saying? But that was one of the first bad decisions that I made, man, in life. That was bad decision. Ohio State didn't come through. Virginia Union came to my house and asked me, I mean, they sent a representative there to ask me to sign with them. Virginia Union the year before was 0-10. Like, man, I ain't going to no program like that. Livingston did the same thing. The year before that, they were 1-11. So I ain't going to no program like that. Never occurred to me about free education. Never occurred to me about free education. I ended up going to VCU. To tell you what kind of individual I was, I went to VCU, and I went to VCU's engineering program. When I went into class, I was the only white, I was the only black in the class. You know, the message that I told myself was, man, you smart. You smart. Numbers was my game, man. I could count money at the crap game. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Numbers was my game, you know? I just was using it in a different way, in a wrong way, you know? Man, 23 years old, I got arrested for distribution of drugs. They gave me, the sentence I had was 50 years with 25 years suspended. 50 years with 25 years suspended. You know, I mean, it devastated me, my family, and everybody else. I'm like, man, dude, that's a life sentence. That's a life sentence. I didn't even hear all of it. They might have said, you got 50 years with 25 suspended for life. I don't even know, but that's what they were doing then. That's how they were locking you in. That's what the system was doing. They'll give you time, and then they will put a whole lot of suspended time over your head. You know? I did 6.5 years. I get out, and then they wanted me to go to a drug program. I was like, are you serious? Are you serious? I was trying to get to the drug program before the time. Didn't happen. Did not happen. So I did the 6.5 years. You know what I mean? And once I got out, I didn't stop using. I continued to use. With 25 years over my head, you know, I'm saying to myself, man, are you crazy? 25 years over your head, you know? But they got me for a BS charge. I ended up staying in the jail for a few months, and then I got out. Because what had happened, I was already off parole. I mean, when I got arrested, I had already completed my parole, which was 5 years later. I'm waiting. I was waiting. I'm thinking, you know, man, here it comes. It's going to come. You know, some of that suspended time, right? Didn't happen. But I got arrested again. That's when I met John down at the jail. You know, I was down there. I was like, man, let me go down here and see what this is. This was a way to get off the tier. Let me go down here and see what this is, you know? And I'm like, John, my thinking at the time was, man, I just want to go somewhere, some kind of program. Stop coming to jail 7 times. I just want to stop coming to jail, you know? Man, the question that I have for y'all, what did you lose? What did you lose as a result of addiction? What did you lose? Yeah. He said he lost his wife, he lost the house, the dog. What did we lose as a result of addiction? Lost a family member. Oh, yeah. What did you lose? Respect? Yeah. Your family. Yeah. Me. Here you go. The support from the family. Yeah. Me. I lost dignity. I lost some dignity. You know? I lost some integrity. I lost some trust. I mean, you go to jail 4, 5, 6, 7 times. You think people started to believe in you? I lost my word. Back in the day, and probably now as well, my word is my bond. And that's what I want somebody to say. You know what I'm saying? Man, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Until somebody called me with the package, then you done. You know? The most important thing, and I know y'all can relate to this, that you lose is time. You lose time. This brother here and that brother right there mentioned something about it, man. The worst fear when you come here is that something's going to happen to somebody in your family. Boy, that sleepless nights. Because your family would lie to you because they don't want you to be worried, man. Man, let me tell you, man, getting visits while you're incarcerated, all of them are good. Because that's what your family intend to do. You know? They don't want to make things any worse than it already is. They can't be honest with you. They can't tell you the truth. You know, they might say, so-and-so ain't doing well. Well, what's wrong with them? You know, no, they just went to the doctor. They be all right, you know. But that's what happens, man. I lost time. I lost dignity, man. You look, hey, if y'all haven't put the numbers together, I'm 71 years, I'll be 71 years old Thursday. 71 years old Thursday. Man, I mean, God has blessed me to be able to redeem myself. To be able to redeem myself. I had that kind of time, man. 34 years allowed me to redeem myself. And what I got to say is, it don't happen for everybody like that. It do not happen for everybody like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's why I go back to what my daughter was saying. Hey, Dad, you need to get out there and you need to exercise. Keep yourself in shape. You know what I mean? And there's something to that. You know, every time you go to the doctor, they tell you the same thing. Do you exercise? You know? And I do. You know what I mean? But, man, we don't have control over everything in our lives when we are incarcerated. You know? We don't. You know, I do a good presentation that John was talking about that, about relapse prevention. How to keep from relapsing. One of the answers was, get in a program for 6 months to a year. It ain't gonna hurt you. This is what I'm saying about vision. And then the other week when we don't know. If you're in a program, I love Rise. You know? Recover in a safe environment. Man, that's important, man. You know what I'm saying? That's important. You know, that's how we keep from coming back. That's how we keep from relapsing. That's how I kept from relapsing. You know, I tell you like this, man. Bouncing in and out of jail, bouncing in and out of jail, bouncing in and out of the rooms. Man, up until the last time I met John, it was almost like, and this is how they used to do it years ago. John will tell you, in AA, if you come in and they figure like you ain't ready, you just joking, they tell you, go back, come back when you're ready. They'll put you out for fear of messing up somebody else's life. People that were coming in, they want them to stick and stay. They don't want you coming in and pulling somebody else out. So when I got there, man, when I got there through John, look here, I mean, my mindset was, look, I don't care what happens for 15 months, they're going to have to put up with me because I ain't going nowhere. You know, we got a program, and it's a step program. You work the steps and all that. The first steps talks about you being honest about whether you want to use or not. Be honest. That's what this whole thing is about, man. It's about discovering yourself. It's about finding out who you are. That's what the whole thing is about. You know, and you might ask, well, what do you do after you've been clean for 34 years? I continue to grow. I continue to grow on a daily basis. Situations in life continue to come up. And I understand, I know that using ain't an option. Using ain't gonna get me there. It ain't the solution, you know? So I continue to grow, man, you know? Man, when I get with John, come out, tell you about having a little bit of faith. A friend of my wife's asked her, said, well, what's Marsha doing? I was working at one of these temp agencies. So well, what's Marsha doing? They say working at a temp agency. Said, well, the place out here that I'm working at, they hiring. I guarantee you they're making $2 more than what he's making now. And then in 2 years, he'll be making $4 more than he's making now. So I goes out there, fill out an application. They called me. Needless to say, I ain't had no car. no license, none of that. I go out there, and they told me they'd offer me a job. What did I want to take a job in? The day shift, second shift, or the third shift? I took a job in the third shift because I'm thinking I can get that better if I'm working third shift. I used to go to meetings at night, meeting be over at 8, 9 o'clock. I get somebody to take me up there to the job. I'm an hour early. The following day after working, I catch the bus home. That's how, and it worked out. I don't know how long I did that, but in the process, I saved some money. I bought a car from somebody in the fellowship for $500. $500. Had duct tape holding the light on. But it was better than what I had. Because I remember the process. I remember me getting rid of that car. I remember me buying another car, the first car I bought in my name. By myself. I was proud of that. You know, I was proud of that. And what you got to understand too is I went to this job. I went in there entry level. I applied for a promotion and they gave me a test. And they gave me a test, man, working with numbers. You know I was good with numbers because I could count the money in the crap game. I was good at numbers. The HR person came to me and told me, they said, Marshall, had nobody scored that high on the test since I've been here. And we were working with fractions. You know? 1/4, 0.25, change the fraction to a decimal. You know? 0.75, 3/4. You know, hey, you know, we do it. Fractions to decimals. You know, that was my thing. You know what I mean? I started doing that. You know what I mean? The guy promoted me. Man, I worked at this place for 20-some years. When it was all said and done, I remember after 10 years, I'm getting promoted. I applied for another job, and the job was in the front office. It was a lady that worked at the plant. She called me when I was on vacation, and she told me, she said, man, they got a job posted. It'll be the ideal job for you. When you come back off vacation, I want you to come up here first thing Monday morning and fill out that, put your name on the list. Of course, I was working that night. So I got Monday morning, I get a ride up there, fill out the application, put my name on the list that I was in for this particular job, you know. And man, God was working in my life because the guy that they had posted the job for, his attendance was a problem. I'm at home one night in the bed. I mean, one day I'm at home in the bed. And they called me. They said, look, man, Bill should have never signed up for the job. He's not qualified. They have gave the job to you. Do you take it? Man, I was like, what? I sat up in the bed. I said, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it, you know. And man, long story short, I was in the office. I got a job in the office job. And they printed a plate and put with my name on it. Marshall Tucker was in the window, you know. And look, I was the first black man to work in the front office. You know what my wife said? Ain't God good? Won't he do it? You know what I'm saying? It won't none of my doing. But if any of y'all want to borrow my God, he's available. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I said that, man, and I got that promotion. You know, and what I'm saying is I have seen other stories like this in the fellowship. You know, guys come in, man, and get a job, and next thing they know, they've been promoted. You know, John just talked about a couple of people that used to work for John. This is what happens with all these people that worked under John's tutelage, and Brandon know them. You turn around and look, man, these people working for the county of Henrico. You know what I'm saying? And they doing some other things, you know. That's what I'm saying. I go back to saying our vision, man, our vision. We got some potential in there. We got some potential in there, you know. What do we need to do to reach that potential? First and foremost, we need to stop using. You know, can't nobody, I ain't gonna say can't nobody, but some people just don't understand how much using occupies everything about you. You know what I'm saying? Man, you can't do nothing. You can't go on vacation. You know, I met some people, man, they was like, look, man, I ain't been on a vacation in 7 years. You know what I mean? I was like, what? A daughter, she went to UVA. Son, he went to UVA. Both of my kids are lawyers. Yeah, both of my kids are lawyers. My son played football at UVA, you know. My daughter, she graduated and she kind of convinced him to, go to law school, man. And you know how it happened? My wife, one of my biggest supporters. My wife, when these kids, the story was, my wife worked for this corporation, man, and all she heard them talk about was their kid going to UVA. That's all she heard them talk about. Their kids going to UVA. And she was thinking, well, how you do that? She ain't know. Well, how do they do that? She found out how you do it. Bam. Our kids end up going to UVA. We don't know. We ain't know. That wasn't the plan. That wasn't the initial plan. But that's how the plan unfolded. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, we always had belief in faith, man. You know, they talk about in the fellowship, man, they talk about freedom and goodwill. It's on the little tag, right? Freedom and goodwill. The more goodwill you do, the more freedom you have. And what is goodwill? Goodwill is doing the right thing for the right reason. All of us, including me, done been in situations where we did things and we knew it was wrong. I go so far to say I was somewhere and I did something I know it was wrong. Then I turn around and flipped it and say, how come I don't never have no good luck? You know what I'm saying? How come I don't never have no good luck? I'm doing all the bad stuff that I need to do. How come I don't have no good luck? That's just not life. You know what I'm saying? It don't happen like that. You know what I mean? I always wondered, man, when I was young and going off of old information, just like going off of old information, how you win the lottery and 5 years later you broke? How you win the kind of money that Mike Tyson won and you broke 5, 6 years later? How you win the kind of money that Evander Holyfield did and you broke? How that happened? Man, and what they say, hey, being broke is hard and managing your money is hard as well. You got to pick your hard. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick your hard because it ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm just before I came here, I was listening to the podcast, man. I can't even think of the brother's name that's a DJ in New York, man. But this brother was just talking about, man, his life, man. I told you too earlier. I said, man, and then I was listening to the fighter, Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Man, and a lot of people, man, got issues. A lot of people got issues. You know? The difference between them and these, some of them that got issues, they looking for help. They seeking help. I ain't trying to do it all on my own. You know, I need to ask somebody to do was saying like, look, man, I'm making more money than I have ever made. Y'all probably, I can't even think of the guy's name, but I'm making more money than I ever had. You know, what's the guy on the Witchcom, man, on the radio show? Huh? Evan. Envy. It might be, you know, it might be. Yeah. But he was saying, I'm making more money than I ever had. And you know what? I still got anxiety. And I'm still depressed sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm seeking help. I'm seeking help. You know what I mean? Hey, this is why we are here. This is why we are here. We become stronger when we learn to listen. We become stronger when we learn to listen. I took a class in it. How to listen. You know, we become stronger. You know what? And we become smarter when we learn how to share. Men. Men to health, mental health, mental health, mental health. It ain't nothing wrong with it. If you got something going on with you and you don't know how to deal with it, ask for some help. Ask somebody. Because I'm telling you, like in the fellowship, man, it's different fellowships that we got, the different pathways to recovery and all that. You know what I mean? I don't know what nobody's pathway might be, but sometimes the fellowship or the program can't give you all that you need. You got to find it somewhere else. But whatever you do, you got to stay grounded, man. You got to stay grounded. You know what I'm saying? You trying to stay grounded on your own. You ain't being updated. You trying to stay grounded on old information. I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. And ain't nobody gonna look down on you for it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody don't always get it the first or the second time around. Might take you 2 or 3 times to get it. You know what I'm saying? But that's the hope shot. We come in here and we bring a message, and my thing is, when we come in, we bring a message. Hopefully, you ain't got to remember everything I said. Just grab onto a word. Just grab onto a word. You know what I'm saying? Takes me back to the penitentiary. Everybody in the penitentiary wanted to be somebody. Everybody. Man, I had 10 people out there working for me. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was selling weight. I was doing this and I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? And what I call that, man, is false pride. Intellectual ego. The intellect, man, the intellect. That's what hurts us a lot of times, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, so, if you take anything from here today, just grab a word, keep that word with you. So the next time we come back. Last time I was here, I made a statement. I said, look, you might not hear nothing today, but just keep coming back. Eventually you will hear something. You know what I mean? I'm the host of John for this program, me and John. Man, I thank y'all for being here because I don't know if y'all know it or not, but this is a two-way street. Y'all helped me tonight. Hey, and the reason y'all helped me tonight, man, my mother died a month ago. A month ago. And my wife said, when you going back to work? I said, I don't know. John called me 2 weeks ago. I said, there's God working in my life. You know what I mean? Because you get smarter when you share. My mother died a month ago. I ain't think about smoking a cigarette. I ain't think about taking a drink. I ain't think about using a drug. And I talked to everybody about it. And I had 2 or 3 people in the fellowship that ain't even in my support group. Man, Irvin been sending me messages every day. Eli been sending me messages every day. And I was like, wow, man, this thing is bigger than I thought it was. And I done been here 34 years. You know what I'm saying? So, man, try to, kind of get yourself together. Work on that spiritual awakening while you're here. And, man, get in a program like McShin or something like that. And, man, some help is going to be there. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being here.
It was a great talk, Marshall. One takeaway I got, and I listen to speakers all the time, but I like the part where you got to pick your hard.
You got to pick your hard.
It's hard managing a quality life. It's hard managing a dysfunctional life or a manageable life. Pick your hard. You're in a jail program, for God's sake. Of course it's hard, okay? Most of you are going to be released one day. You're going to be faced with hard again. Remember this hard versus that hard. Pick one.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope you don't pick this one again. You know what I mean? Because I'd rather have hard on the outside than the inside. But questions and answers, thoughts.
Yeah.
We can hang out for a minute. Y'all got any thoughts, comments, anything for Marshall?
No, I got a question for them. I throwed it out there early on. How come it's so hard to change, but it's so easy to come back to the penitentiary 4 or 5 times?
That's insanity.
That's insanity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why do we do that?
You know?
That's a good question.
Huh?
Coming back is something you're used to, I guess, but changing something you're not used to is always going to be harder.
Oh, yeah.
It takes more effort.
Yeah.
Thought process to go a different route.
My definition of fear, I said that earlier.
Say everything and run.
Yeah.
False evidence appearing real.
False evidence appearing real. And that's what we do, man. You know what I'm saying? We and I talked about discovering yourself, man. Because some stuff that you thinking and believing about yourself, it ain't true. That's just how you see it.
And let me throw this out at you. Think about it. We know we get what we get when we do what we do. We do what we did, we're going to get what we got. Okay, that's a gimme, right? If you go back to where you come from, you're going to go back and worse. Guaranteed, promise. I mean, that's just our history. You got 2 guys up here and a young lady over there who chose not to go back so far because we didn't want to get what we always got. So we listened to old timers that said, you know what? I'm going to have the courage to go forward, fearful of what the future has for us. But the witnesses that are bringing you the future, do we look that bad, that screwed up? We're a little nutty, I get it. But guess what? I got a king-size bed that's paid for. I get to sleep in every night, and it ain't never been pissed in. I mean, it's a quality bed, baby. I got a stainless steel side-by-side refrigerator. I put anything in it I want, especially when my wife goes away for a few days. I bring in cakes and all kind of stuff, man. I mean, good Lord. I mean, Brandon, you've been to my house. My house, a pod at Jail East, Think about it. I mean, it's insanity. It's a brain disease. It's a mental illness. But you got people, you have mentors, you have facilitators, you got sponsors, you got people that will walk with you. We don't abandon nobody. He's going through the crisis of his mama dying. He wasn't abandoned. He had all kind of quality people step up. Mm-hmm. You're right. That's what I said as a new person. The thought of giving up using, the thought of giving up the drug get high. Remember that little talk we had? The thought of all those jails and institutions I'd been to. Yeah, I want to give all that up for something I don't know. But all the witnesses in my life, all the recovering people in my life, they had jobs, careers, cars, healthy relationships. Come on, they had livable wage income plus excess disposable income. What would you do with the extra $100 a week once all your bills are paid? And that gets better as time goes on. Marshall got more money than God right now. He don't know what to do with it all. He just come out into the jail and just kick it for a while, man.
I don't know what to do with it.
Man travels all over the country. I mean, he gets up and he goes. He plays golf like Tiger Woods' rich uncle, man. I've never seen anything like it.
If you don't know what to do with it, don't do anything. Well, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, just don't do anything.
Get a wife, and you won't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other thoughts? Well, man, thank you so much for having us out here tonight. I think we're going to go to Jail West next week, Sheriff, and we'll be back.
Here, so they can review and questions can be asked from here, even though we'll be at Jail West. So they'll still be able to view and participate. God willing, I'm proclaiming it that we'll be able to get this hooked up. That's our goal.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have the
fantastic
TV
job
next
sir.
Week, and then y'all can ask questions. You'll have a mic here or something. We'll work in progress. We'll figure it out. But we'll see you later. By applaud. How'd you like it?
Keep coming back.
Thank you, Art. You did a good job tonight, Art. Art's the man behind
Keep coming back.
The man behind the curtain.
Way to go, Art.
Trying to figure out like one thing that stuck. He said a lot of things, I didn't know. As long as I've known him, I didn't know that he played in the Classic. It's called the Classic.
Yeah.
I actually got invited to be in the parade this year. I'm excited. The Armstrong Walker Classic. But the fact that when we're young, we have dreams. And when we get older, we have vision.
Yeah.
And I think the difference is when we dream and we're young, we don't plan, you know. But in order to have a vision and to make it plain, you have to plan. That's why I'm constantly in conversation with people. What's your plan? What do you want to do? You know, I took this job in order to. I was working at the post office. I had little kids. I wanted to have weekends off. I didn't have weekends off at the post office. You know, my kids were like, my mama sleep all the time. You don't want to hear your kids tell people you sleep all the time. I go to the toy store, but my mama at work. So took this job because I had every other weekend off. And day one when I walked in, I knew this is where I belong. It didn't feel like a job. Working with people, talking with people, even as a deputy, you have the ability to make a change and help people. And that's me. And almost close to 25 years later, I still don't feel like I'm on a job. You know, I get up and come in here. I'm here every day, and on the weekends when I'm not here, now being an elected official, I'm in the community, and it still doesn't feel like a job. But once I got this and my vision was to stay here, I had to make plans. I went back to school and got my bachelor's degree and got my master's degree. You know, every piece of training I could take, I took it to make me the best person that I could be doing what I love to do. And so I challenge you all to make a plan. You know, what's your vision, what you want to do, and create a plan for it and go for it. It's nothing that you cannot do. Anything you put your mind to, you can do. This woman that walked in here did not walk into the Henrico County Jail East. That was when the women were in pod thinking she was going to be the first African-American sheriff in the history of Henrico County. No. But I tell you what, I made a plan to be the best that I could be, and look where God brought me. So I want you all to start making a plan and be the best you can be. All right?
Hey, John, put the camera on. Hey, two things. John, do you think John knew when he first came into recovery that he was going to have a $1 million business? I mean, think about it. I mean, he was a bum. You know? He's still a bum. Now, yeah, a bum with money. You know? One other thing I was telling you, what I heard, did anybody know how the interstates are set up? 95, north and south, odd numbers, even numbers go east and west. There are 4 highways that can go from the east coast to the west coast. You don't even have to change. I just found that out. I mean, John was saying, like, you know, how I be traveling and all that. You know what I mean? Man, I wasn't even paying attention to that. I do know 95, you know, from Florida to New York. You know what I'm saying? US 1. You know what I'm saying? All of that. You know, it's just something to think about when you get out there and you've been clean for 5 years and you got a car and you're gonna drive to the West Coast. Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, gang. We're gonna see you next week. Thanks for everybody for tuning in out there in Facebook land and elsewhere. We appreciate y'all. And y'all be spreading the word. We're going to be coming live weekly from here on out. Is our Getting Heard Live series. And you guys sleep tight. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again, fellas.